Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Rock Bottom Podcast with Ray DeVito, formerly known as the G-Hole. SilkCityHotSauce.com. If you're watching on video, SilkCityHotSauce.com. Put in G-Hole, save 15%. Also, VictoryPose.com. Let them know that I sent you and get some amazing deodorant, Pit Rub. I've been using it. I use Hero and some soap. Made out of goat milk. I smell like a hipster. I smell amazing. So, thanks to those guys. And today, man, I got the great Big J Oakerson. We just got done doing the Funny Bone in Liberty, Cincinnati. And, yeah, it was an awesome weekend. Those of you that don't know Big J, hey, what you do, man? Legion of Skanks, The Bonfire on Sirius XM with Dan Soder, a good friend of mine for years, and one of the funniest comics out there, period. And this is a very real podcast, man. Yeah, we talk about both of us having health issues. I was having non-epileptic seizures. We get into that. Jay talks about some of his health scares that he had to deal with. Yeah, this is great. Now, I will say this, just a heads up, in case it cuts out at a second, that's because we were recording in the green room at the Funny Bone, and they were getting ready for the show when we were doing it, and I didn't realize the music was up, and I was like, oh, shit, I don't think I can put up a podcast if it has music in it. So, yeah, you're going to notice where cuts just for a second, but I think I gotta. So that's why that is. Just because I don't know how that works. But yeah, you can't have the Beastie Boys around. I'm like, oh no, I don't think we have the Beastie Boys in a podcast. But we have a great time, man. Big J's the shit. Follow him at Big J Oakerson online, Twitter, and for all his stuff, man. All his tour dates. I'm doing the road with him a little bit, so yeah, come see me with Big J. All right, I love all you guys. Peace. What's up? What's going on? Welcome to Rock Bottom Podcast with Ray DeVito, formerly known as the G-Hole Podcast. I'm here at the Funny Bone in Liberty, Ohio, and got my buddy Big J headlining this week. Killing it.
Oh, thank you. Don't tell him about the half rooms.
No, I already checked. This is we're recording this before the show Saturday. Over 200 both shows.
Nice,
yeah.
Christ only knows what yesterday was, but it wasn't that.
No, dude, they were cool, man, and especially second show, it was all your fans, and you know what I like when I know it's your fans, I could talk about how I was poor growing up and all the white trash shit about me, and they just identify with that.
Yeah.
They're
getting up and turning this on for 1 second.
They're immediately on board. So yeah, that's
they're a good. We've cultivated, I'm proud to say, a very good comedy audience. They're really good at. They're just good audience. They know comedy. They're comedy fans. They know not to fuck up.
Yeah, my favorite is when I was in.
They still fuck up sometimes, but.
I told you when I was in the middle of Missouri at a Planet Fitness, and some dude wearing a Skanks t-shirt. I stopped on the treadmill to take a picture, and then I didn't even let him know it was a comic or something.
You didn't tell him why?
No. And then after the fact, he's why'd you take a picture, dude? And I'm like, he's like, you a Skank fan too? I go, yeah, I am, but I'm friends with him. And I'm a comic. And he's like, oh, all right. And I'm like, I'm doing a show.
You could go on a date with that guy.
Yeah, he didn't come to the show, but it was still nice. But I do have to apologize. Last night, because we were hanging out at the bar after the second show. The video just gave out. Come on, man. And it's it's a weak cord, but I have to apologize because I started talking to a dude wearing a Cleveland Indians cap because I'm from Cleveland, and then he ended up being a complete weirdo.
The Chief Wahoo guy?
Yeah, was he? Was he weird after I left?
I thought he was at the show.
No, he wasn't. He was
when you left the bar.
Yeah,
I left the bar with you.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I remember he started.
Were you blackout drunk?
No. I don't remember who walked out with me, but yeah, I just remember he was you know how you engage someone sometimes and oh wow, this guy's an issue.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, all right, I think I'm done here with this.
Yeah.
And
you got yourself in a long talk. Yeah, but at the end he was asking for tickets to the show.
Yeah. He was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, I'm out. I don't know this dude. This is uncomfortable. My research for podcasts, though, I listened to whatever podcast you did last. So I was listening to the Bonfire episode with you and Soder, and you were talking about there's naked pictures of you on the internet. Where can people find this man candy?
No, it doesn't exist anymore. It was before social media and everything, thank God. But it was on a Craigslist thing from years ago. A girl who was mad at me, rightfully so, but it was definitely a severe reaction. But she posted me on Craigslist, men looking for men, with the naked picture she had of me.
Oh, Jesus. And why'd she have a naked picture of you? Like, obviously you dated her in some capacity.
I took a picture of her, and then she was like, well, it's only fair, let me take a picture of you. So jokingly, I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Not really overthinking the long-term problems of that.
Right.
Which were it being up for a little bit. And then everybody, my friend Wayne.
I remember in Boston Comedy Club.
Yeah. And a zillion other places. Wayne's, he's gay as all hell.
Yeah.
And he called me to tell me that he...
he's the one that found it.
He found it.
He was looking for you.
And then left me a message. I was in Africa doing a comedy festival.
Oh, Jesus.
And this is before your cell phone worked overseas or anything like that.
Which, by the way, they still don't. I heard you talking about that. I was in the Bahamas, and I made a phone call to the Bahamas, like when I was setting everything up. And next thing I know, I had like an extra $50 charge on my cell phone bill.
Oh, really?
So I went to the Bahamas. I turned my phone off, and I was fine. But then I was talking to Chad Zumak, who's in the Bahamas, and he's like, I should have turned my phone off because it was like $150 charges.
Just in the calls?
Yeah. Just like
most of them, if you call the company now, though, you could use your phone for like a set price overseas.
Oh, you got to give them a heads up, though.
Yeah, you give them a heads up, but it works, though, for sure. This was before any of that, so it was calling card. I think I used a calling card to call back or to check my messages on my cell phone. And it was 19 messages, and the first one was Wayne telling me he sees this ad. It is me. It's my phone number. It's the minimal TV credits I had at that point.
That's kind of cool, though. They put your credits up there.
Yeah.
Well,
and then another like 18 messages were guys trying to fuck. But
did they send pictures too? Could you see?
I have no idea. It was before all that. Like I said, it was a flip phone time still.
Oh.
So like, but our buddy Wayne got it removed, but he didn't tell me necessarily how he got it removed, and that was by sending it to everybody we know and asking them to flag it.
So he sent it to a bunch of comics.
So he sent it to Bobby Kelly.
That's
going to
work.
Had
yeah,
it.
It's going to work out well.
Yeah, and then Patrice had.
I would have been like, you know what, dude? On second thought, just leave it up there.
Don't tell anyone. Just let it live.
Yeah. Think about.
But it's it was a nightmarish picture. But what are you gonna do? Like
I heard you describe it. You're like in the doorway with your arms up or something.
Trying to keep it as smooth as possible. It's a fat man's quick helpful tip. If you stretch out, you don't have folds.
You're not you lost weight though.
Yeah, over time I have for sure. I'm definitely less than my heaviest. My heaviest was bad.
Because I know like dudes, like I remember like in college, like dudes have their shirts off, and I didn't realize like you don't have stretch marks, do you?
Oh yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm 40 something now too, so I've been fat my whole life. So yeah, I'd stretch marks since I was like a teenager or something.
I just remember like there'd always be dudes that'd be like red stretch marks.
Yeah, I don't know how red they are, but like they're definitely there. But everyone's got stretch marks now.
Yeah.
You ever see a good tit? There's stretch marks on it.
No, that's true. What are you into most? I'm more ass and leg dude.
I'm a pussy guy. Call me crazy. Yeah, I'm probably more ass and legs than tits. I think tits are great, but I've just never.
They just come in all different sizes. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I also like that's also a problem with like big butts. Girls like they just have this giant ass. Like, oh, I got the, and it's like that's just a giant ass. It's not nice.
The fake ass is ridiculous.
Yeah,
the way that looks. I mean, it's good for like pictures to show your tiny waist and your big huge ass, but it's bizarre looking in life. Especially
when you see them at the gym, and it just looks like that. It just looks like a bookshelf or something. Like there's a
Well, it's also like if they sit, you can see like where like the implant is. Where the work's it's been done. You know what I mean? Like as much as where the regular body ends and the fake starts is much weird. Yeah, it's like bad tit implants, which are gross too.
I don't mind boob implants. I just don't like when they're cartoonishly big.
Well, because they're always then pulling. It's like that crazy, like the stretch on the skin and everything looks so weird. Or when you could see the bag, like the outline of the bag. You ever see like when a fake tit's like leaned over and it looks like a ghost is grabbing it? It's like lines in it because the bag. It's so weird looking.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
I mean, that said, if my girl was like, I'm gonna get fake tits, I'd be like, shit, let's do it.
Yeah. What do you care? You'd be into it, right?
Sure. If she doesn't want to get him, she doesn't have to. I said it doesn't matter that much to me at all. You know what I mean?
Right. But let's be honest. If you would have saw the dudes, it is something flattering. I mean, I'm not gay at all, but it is something flattering when like a decent looking gay dude hits on you.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
It feels good as anything else. Cause then also you're like, well, there's no pressure to go through with anything, but it's nice to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't
mind. Gay guys that hit on me usually look like me also. Like they're asking me to wrestle.
Dude. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I don't mind. Like, I'll take it as I'll take a nice compliment from a gay dude.
Jump on Grindr, dude. Put it out there. See what the world throws.
No, I don't. No, you know what? Because I do Bumble, and every once in a while, like I'll match with a like the dudes will somehow show it. It's obviously a dude that I guess identifies as a woman.
Oh Christ!
Because they'll be a man, and it's clearly a dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty lady. My name's Jeff.
Yeah, these are my pronouns. By the way, it's a hilarious joke about Demi Lovato.
Oh, thank you.
That you've been doing the pronouns.
Whatchamacallit, the apps have never. I mean, I was never really single, so I never really used them all that much. But they seem like I'm so happy I'm not on Bumble because I guess the pressure, like, don't you have to wait for them to reach out to you?
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Yeah, it's not fun. Like it really, I'm not a big fan of Bumble. I feel
like I get like one thing every once in a while, and it would be someone I'm not attracted to.
Yeah,
and that would just hurt more.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of luck with Bumble. But I tell you what, when I do meet girls, it's at shows.
Oh, yeah.
It's still
Have you ever hooked up from an app ever?
From an app? I went on a few dates, but never hooked up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're useless then. You should write an angry letter.
Yeah.
This isn't the Tinder promise.
But I do know this. Every time like my Bumble subscription's about to end, like they're about to hit, suddenly I got like 100 more likes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
that's probably how they get you.
Yeah.
They get you like, well, you should probably re-up. Give it one more shot.
Yeah, like suddenly all these girls are
6 months.
Yeah. But they're fake accounts. They're just making up fake chicks. Like,
well, a lot of times the hot girl pictures that show up in my DMs are someone asking me to like partner with them on Facebook for advertisements or something. It's like it's always some fake thing. And it's like right now we can make you $5,000 off of your social media or whatever. It's fake.
Have you have you ever had a threesome?
Yeah, well, my girls and the girls.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, with her a bunch.
Now, do you get to also, because I had a girl once and like, we didn't actually get to do a threesome. It was just, essentially it was just me watching her make out with another chick.
It's pretty great still.
Yeah, it's still all right, but it's like, all right. I felt like a peeping Tom.
No, yeah. You want to jump in or not?
Yeah.
But I said the funny thing about that, I've said this on a bunch of stuff, but you always have to let the girl start 100% of the time. And
you can't just
I'm such an awkward weirdo. Like, I don't know what to do in that time, like when they're in it, like making out hot and heavy, and I like refill ice trays, organize stuff.
You're like vacuuming around.
Yeah. I move the decorative pillows off the bed. Try to find something on YouTube, some music or something to put on.
Yeah, it's like fucking doing like morning radio when the DJs are like going back and forth. Like, am I supposed to comment now? Am I supposed to jump in? Like I mean, it was all right, but at the same time, it was just she wanted to make out with a chick, and while I watched, essentially.
Was it home?
Yeah, this was a girl from Kansas that I dated for a little while.
I'm saying, was that like your place? Like you were like,
no, it was at her place.
What was that? You were in someone's apartment though.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And then what happened? They just made out and she left.
Yeah, and then like I didn't even get to really fool around with the other girl because like I'm like, all right, if I make a move, is my girlfriend going to get pissed at me?
Oh, you got to talk all that out first.
Yes. So I didn't know.
I mean, me and my chick know now, but like, yeah, in the beginning, it was like, you got to find out what you can and can'ts. But there's not that much can'ts, really.
What's a mistake boring. You made? When did you realize, all right, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or maybe I wasn't invited to do that yet or something?
Oh, nothing. I'm so insecure that like it's got to be laid out that it's like this is good. Like we
you just come down with paperwork, like all right, and you just
not that it's consensual even. Because I'm not worried about what I mean. Like I'm not. If they're there, I assume it's consensual. I'm saying more like before, like I'd start fucking the girl, I'd still ask, even though it seems like it's what's happening. I'd be like, this is cool if we, you know what I mean,
right?
Because I don't want to start going for like the physical rejection hurts so much more to me than like than a girl being like, no, I don't want to do that. That's embarrassing too.
You know what?
But at least you find out before
I gotta stop this. I gotta get them to. All right. If there's an edit, that's because there was music playing in the background. I'm an idiot. I don't know.
We should just come back with it like we're radios. It goes, all right, that's Right for You Right by the Beastie Boys. Coming off License to Ill.
I have, like, you do this for a living, like the bonfire and stuff, like radio. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea. I just got lucky that I got fans that like hearing me on podcasts from Keith and the Girl and then doing Brennan's podcast. So then I already had like a little bit of an audience. So I just started doing this.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them just most of my fans make fun of me anyways, which I don't mind. It's like I don't care. Go ahead. Like I know they're good people. They're good people. You got to get that a lot with some of your fans, like
people talking shit.
Yeah. Well, not like shit, but you know what I mean. Like
ball busting and stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, because it's the nature of what we do. Yeah. So like they want to be in on it too. But it is funny how it catches you off guard because you don't you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, I can make all the fat jokes with myself you want, and then someone will be like, "Big J, you fat fuck, like love you, keep up the good work," and you're like, "All right."
What has hurt you the most? Like if someone someone pointed out how I trim them, but how bushy my eyebrows get. That kind of hurts a little bit because I used one of the first insults when I was a little kid. Remember Michael Dukakis? I guess he's a guy that ran for president or something, and he called me Michael Dukakis eyebrows.
Michael Dukakis eyebrows.
Yeah.
You got and like, Dukakises,
and I was. And I was too little of a kid to know. There you go. Ollie's coming in here. We're at the Funny Bones.
Don't sell her out.
Yeah. No, she's. There you go. You excited for tonight, Ollie? It's gonna be a packed house.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was so happy to hear that most of the Fridays are getting condensed here to one show. So we made it to 2 shows. Yeah,
we did 2 shows, man. So there we go.
We're back. You said the word recession last night, and I was very willing to just accept that as the case.
Oh, really?
You're like, maybe the recession's like hitting people. I'm like, right? That's probably what it is. You look for any excuse.
Do you, because you're at the point, no, you draw pretty good. Norman draws good. You draw good. Like, I mean, you have fans. Like a lot of people, like they, what do you call it? Like I'll do shows with a lot of people. They don't have like fans that like.
No, that's broadcasting though. That's the thing. It's like, that's what keeps people engaged. Like that's why this is good for you to do. Cause like, that's what it is. People hear you and then they know you and they know you much better than you know them, which is such a funny thing too.
Yeah.
So like, that's why they're emotionally invested.
Well,
and
also
it's like, but they know so many things. Like I said, I remember having to get used to that. Like people being like, hey, how's your daughter's college going? You turn around, you're like, what? And then you're like, oh yeah, I've talked about it all week about my daughter's whatever, So like,
where's she going, man?
She was going to Queens College.
Oh, nice. Right, so she's going to be there. She's going to be by. She's got nothing to rebel against. I mean,
no,
you're
not
pretty
much.
open.
Yeah, which is good. So she's not really rebelling much. She's not really like she's not a bad kid at all. So it is like nice, yeah. Because I'd rather be like buddies with her and direct in the right way than constantly be bagging on her. But also then if she becomes a bum, that's my fault, I guess.
No, you guys got a good relationship. I see her all the times. Like, yeah.
Going to a concert this week. We just saw Nope last week.
Now, does she like the same music as you?
That's what's fun about having her be like almost 20 now, is seeing the influence that I had on her just like showing up now. That's very cool. Like, I took her to see the Deftones not long ago. We're going to Rage Against the Machine on Tuesday, and like, she organically knows this stuff just from me listening to it.
Right.
And like has it in her iPod, her phone also. She'll like tell me about it, but like when she'll like, if she's driving with me, she'll like request songs that are like, she knows are more in my world because she like, she wants to hear music that she likes and that I wouldn't turn off.
What music is she into that you don't like?
That I don't like? Oh, yeah. Current, almost anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know current music.
The current state of rap, I'm just so out of the loop.
I know Tyler, the Creator. I like him.
Yeah, he's fun. He's good. There's people who are good that I've found over I mean, like the people that I think are good are oldies now themselves. Like, when I got into like that Kendrick Lamar is pretty great. And they're like, yeah, he's old school.
Yeah. They say that about Kanye.
Yeah.
I like Kanye. It's like, he's not current. That's
and he's not like, he's still doing stuff, but he's like now been around for a long time. It's so weird how fast that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 Cent is not washed up, but I mean, like he's on the tail end of his career.
Like, he had that moment. He was big for like 5 years. Then after that, I really wasn't.
Well, he diversified. He went out and started doing acting stuff and producing and everything. He produces that show, like Power.
Oh, really? I don't even know that show. I know nothing
it's
about.
It's its 4th season or something. So it's like that's been going really good.
So what are shows you like? What are shows you can teach me? Shows to watch. I watched the Ozarks just because people talked about it.
It's great. You didn't do it.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
Oh, you finished it.
Yeah. Well, I did the new season just come out? I didn't see the last season. The second part of season 4 I haven't seen yet. Did that come out yet?
Yeah.
Oh, it did? All right, I got to watch that.
Yeah, you have to watch that.
Yeah,
I'm a documentaries guy.
Yeah,
and then a couple of series.
What's your favorite documentaries? What genres?
Oh, like I don't know, like not disturbing stuff's like the wrong word, but like where shit went fucking haywire. Those Woodstock ones are killer. Right.
Oh, the Woodstock 99?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. That's insane.
Yeah, they did one on HBO Max and Netflix, and they're both pretty great. Those Fire Festival ones were good. But like it's like that, like they just did those Rich and Shameless, like the Girls Gone Wild guy.
Yeah, I saw that. Dude, that dude's insane. And dude, he capitalized at the right time. Like literally just show up and women are like, just sign this. And then like,
yeah. And then
he's a piece of shit. Like the woman he ended up marrying, he ended up being a piece of shit too.
Yeah. And then like, he just lives on a resort that he owns in Mexico
and he can't leave. Right.
Because, well, if he comes back, he has to serve something stupid. I mean, listen, I don't want to go to jail for a night, let alone a year, but like, I think he had to do a year minus 20 days. Because he served like 20 days or something already. I mean, he also got like raped in the ass on videotape too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was like a big thing. It's funny.
Did he put it out on his?
No, he didn't. I got reminded of it like watching that documentary, but I was like, oh yeah, I don't know why that like went away so quick. But yeah, some guy like broke into his house and like held him hostage and like fucked his ass with like a bunch of stuff and made him like say I'm a boy gone wild or something like that while he was fucking his ass. Yeah,
was that in the documentary? It had to have been. Yeah, you don't leave that out.
No, that's what I'm saying. When the documentary came, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that completely. But yeah, he was a douchebag. That guy was like, I met him once.
Oh, you did
with Craig Gass, and he had a black eye. And one of his camera guys said that was from like an uncle or a brother or something of a girl. I watched how kind of creepy he was with the process of trying to get the girls to do naked stuff. And I'm pervy. It's funny. Like I'm all in on the idea. If it's like, but I go into it seeing like what I see on the videotapes. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, these girls are psyched and they can't wait to show us all their pussy and asshole. How great is this? And then you see like how like prodded it is to make that happen. You know what I mean? And even if they do it like they're where is this going? You know what I mean? Like
as they're doing it, as they're like giving a dude a hand. Where's this going?
Yeah, I mean, like really, but like they were just like, it was very much a time of like, you know, guys laughing almost behind their backs, like this dumb bitch is doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
That's like, it just comes off so creepy. So I get it, but I'm all in for like, yeah, it's like, we used to have that with comedy shows after the shows. If a girl's like, want to see my tits? You're like, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, absolutely.
Well, I remember I went to Panama City.
I've never done a spring break in my life.
Yeah, and it was like that. It literally was. Girls had no problem. Like, I remember this. I talked about this on a podcast before, but when I was in college, girls had rape whistles like that. They thought that was going to solve rape. That dumb, like what a fucking. It's like they thought that was a thing, and like people used to just, like you go to college parties and they just be playing around with them.
Well, those Woodstock one documentaries really show the thing. It's just like the guy again, like it's just like a personality type, I guess. But like, I would never think, like, while a girl's like topless on a guy's shoulders, like, let me reach up and squeeze her tit real quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm gonna get smacked. Yeah, like, now, you know what I mean? By the way, it's even weird if a girl was like, squeeze my tit. Like, that's a weird thing. Like,
yeah,
like honk a tit, such a weird thing to want to do.
Yeah,
or they're trying to finger girls that are like crowd surfing and stuff, and it's such like a odd thing. Like, what's sexual about? Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
If a hot girl on the street pulled her pussy out and was just like, finger me in front of all these people, I'd be like, let somebody else do it.
Yeah. You'd be like, what's a catch? What's really going on?
Well, because I'm saying, it's like, oh yeah, I'd like to tell the story of this girl pulled out her pussy and had some guy finger her on the street, but like having me do, I don't know, it's just so weird. Like, it's funny. Adam Carolla used this term that I thought was interesting. I'm very into novelty of sex, but I don't find it sexy. Does that make sense? So it's like, I've got things where I've talked about on the bonfire where I've watched those videos of like, they just have video compilations of hot girls shitting, like shitting outside and everything. Now it's like, it's porn, right? For sure. But like, I've never looked at that like as porn in a set. You know what I mean? I'm not jerking off to it or like, I'm just like, oh, I'll look at this. Like, wow. Yeah. It's crazy this girl's doing this. Or like, how big of a thing could a girl get in her? Or all those fucking weird, like I'm into the novelty of it, but I'm not into taking part in the novelty of it. Right. You know what I mean? I don't want a girl to shit in front of me. I don't want a girl to shit on me. I don't want a girl to piss on me, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so it's like, you know what I mean? But it's like,
I don't find it hot, a girl shitting.
No, not at all. Know? But I find it intriguing that a smoking hot chick found to be a money that was worth her taking a video of her shitting in a thing. I'm like, wow, that's just selling it out. I remember talking to a pretty popular porn star once on a podcast, and I think she says it on the show, so I can say Kendra Sunderland, the library girl. That was the thing. She got like kicked out of college for masturbating in the library, making videos.
All right, I'd watch that.
And then she became a porn star. No, she's super hot. That's not novelty. That's hot.
Yeah. No, I'd watch.
But when I was talking to her, she was talking about OnlyFans and all the stuff she was doing, and I asked like almost jokingly about like shitting. Like or something like that. And she's like, oh yeah, I've been asked to shit before, but like, you know, it's like I haven't done it. Like that's like money. You're gonna have to pay money for that. And I was like, wow, what's this crazy number gonna be? And I think she was like, that's like $500. And I'm like, that's not that much.
Yeah.
It's like you're a porn star who's like now a name porn star. You know, you're like in the business and like you can watch you do all these glamorous, like serene setting porns and stuff that she does with the outfits and everything, and like for $500 you'll just shit on a camera for me. Like, it's interesting. I didn't offer, but
yeah, there's obviously some dudes that are like, there's dudes that are into everything, and I don't like, I didn't realize it. I don't mind some foot videos that I didn't even think I was into that at all. But
really,
I'll watch a chick like fucking.
Never struck me at all, the foot thing.
No, not at all. But I've watched a chick jerk a dude off with her feet and was like, all right, if she wanted to do that, I would let her.
Phenomenal.
What's that?
Maybe this is fucking great.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Foot thing. I had a foot so funny.
I'm not saying like that's a thing that I'm like, but I was like, oh, she's hot. I could.
Oh yeah.
I would totally be into her jerking me off with her feet. What do I give a shit?
Kurt Metzger. When I first met him, we started doing comedy together. His girlfriend, Jessica, We did end up doing comedy.
I know who she is. I remember. Right? Yeah.
She was like, she did a thing. They had a friend named Brooke, formerly Jeff, so trans.
Okay.
Their friend, and Brooke looked like Jeff with long hair. But it was Brooke. Whatever, you know.
I like it. They could change it every day. Today I'm Brooke. Tomorrow I'm Jeff.
Yeah, it looked like she could have been Jeff when she wanted to. But Brooke, Jeff, and Jessica got some gig one day doing foot fetish video. So it was no nudity or anything. It was just them like breaking balloons with their feet, pushing gas pedals, blah blah blah. And I remember I was dating my girlfriend at the time, who was not the brightest bulb. And we went to Kurt's house that night to hang out. And I remember, and Jessica was like, "Oh, we did that foot fetish thing today." He goes, "You want to see the footage from it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm curious to see like what is." She's like, "It's so silly." Like she was kind of, saying like it's just dumb and stupid, and it was.
Yeah.
And then there's of course one of the scenes where they show like a foot pushing a pedal or something. My girlfriend goes, "Oh my God, like there you can see it, like there. That's how you could tell it's a guy. Look at the size of that foot." And of course, Jessica was like, "That's my foot." Like, oh, good. I'm like, good first impressions.
What was she have hairy feet?
No, I don't know. Maybe it was like a big footer for a girl or something. But like, I don't. That was such a funny. I think it was just my girlfriend who was kind of like a little dippy.
Yeah,
trying to be in on the conversation because she would do like. That's one of the funniest stories. We all went out. I started hanging with Kurt. And Kurt was very different than any of my friends. Nothing bad about my friends. My friends were great growing up. I'm still friends with a couple of them. Like, we stay in touch. But I hung out with, like, it was very Philly, like, lunkhead crew. I went to go see, I remember I'd go to the Ritz movie theater to see, like, David Lynch movies and stuff because none of my friends would have been like, "David who?"
Right.
So, like, we're going to go see Invincible again.
Yeah.
Like, these were like, like, they were great. We went to sports games, played sports together, tried to get chicks and hanging out and bullshitting, but they weren't. I was intrigued by Kurt.
Like, we're going to go watch Fast and Furious again.
Yeah. I was intrigued by Kurt. And I'm not those guys. You know what I mean? Like, but I was intrigued by Kurt because Kurt was the first person that was like, knew a little more about the art. He was at art school and everything.
Right.
He was a more artistic guy. And I'm doing
He's a smart, by the way, very funny comic.
Genius.
He's brilliant. And the thing about him also is comedy is no one else thinks like him.
Nope.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's
from day one.
Yeah.
From day one in comedy, he was always like such a good writer and just like a phenomenal, just comedic mind. He is. Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, some comics you can like see and be like, oh, they were obviously influenced by this person or that person. He's one guy. Like, I can't even tell.
He couldn't pay attention to somebody else long enough to mimic him, to steal from there. But Kurt, so it's funny. So I started hanging out with Kurt and all his friends, and his friends were just like either like in art school or just like band guys. Just like a more like a learned crew. You know what I mean? These guys read more and everything. But again, I'm the odd guy out in that situation. I can hang, you know what I mean, and make everybody laugh, which is what I kind of did. But like, I'm more like my friends in the sense, like, if people were like, "Hey, have you ever read Nietzsche's thing?" I'm like, "What?"
The guy that played for the Packers in the 60s.
It's like, we're not talking about philosophy.
He played with Bart Starr, right? Ray Nitschke. I remember. I heard of Nitschke.
We're not in any of this stuff, but I loved hanging out. I liked being like the dumb guy in the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Almost was kind of like more interesting to listen to people, And my girlfriend, that same one, we went out to dinner one time at some place. It was a bunch of Kurt's friends and like, friends of mine loosely, but they're Kurt's people. And we're out there and I remember it's probably shitty of me in hindsight. Like I was probably busting my girlfriend's balls a little bit, like to make people laugh because like she said something goofy or whatever. Right. And I remember there was a point where everyone was like laughing at her, I guess.
Oh.
And she goes, it was a room stopper. She just blurted out something about me. She just goes, "Jay wipes his ass till it bleeds." Like out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. It was like you heard like forks drop and everything. Like, what? because it wasn't anything going on at that moment. It was like, everyone was like done laughing and we moved on to something else. And she just was like stewing in that and just blurted it out whenever she blurted it out. And it was so goddamn funny. Jay wipes his ass till it bleeds, which wasn't a lie.
Yeah.
Very anal, no pun intended.
I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before accidentally.
It's before baby wipes, by the way.
Yeah, but
not before they existed, but before they were like a common thing to use wipes when you take a shit.
Yeah.
I was so worried about being fat and smelling bad that I just obsessively like clean my ass.
Sometimes when you like wipe and it's like it's just not ending. And you're like, come on. So you just keep wiping. And then next thing you know,
you see a little blood on the toilet paper. And I was like, so it's, she knew that information about it. It was so funny. Just out of nowhere. Jay wipes his ass till it bleeds. And everyone's like,
it sounds like a Rolling Stones
I guess. Yeah. I think I'll take the check, please.
Dude, that's, I did want to share this with you. I'm not going to say the guy's name. He was I had a roommate, who was a Skanks fan. He would hang at the creek, and I thought he was like an open mic comic, and he was. And he's the guy that who's schizophrenic, and he's the one that killed his mom.
He lived with you for a little bit.
He lived with me.
Right. You got the call and everything.
Yeah.
We spoke to him.
He's a great dude. He's a nice dude. But I could tell
he had a psychotic break.
What's up?
He is a good dude. I think he had a psychotic break. He doesn't know. Like
No, he's schizophrenic.
He feels terrible about what he did. And
And
he's like, he just like, we talked to him since, but it was pretty funny. He called in, or we had Doug Stanhope on, and he's friends with him. And Stanhope called him while we were on Skanks.
Yeah.
Doing Skanks together. And he called in and he was sweet. And he was saying like, he's what a terrible time he's been through. And he's really trying to, get his life in order. He goes, and one thing he has had still is like Legion of Skanks has still made him like smile, and it really got him through some. Like,
he loved you guys. Yeah,
he goes, really got me through some dark times. He goes, I just want to tell you guys, like, I love you guys and thank you so much. And I go, well, I think I speak for the group when I say, phew. I go, we know what you'll do when you're not enjoying something.
Well, yeah, he called me right afterwards because he came to New York because he was my roommate, and but I knew he was having some episodes before he went to jail the first time, because the last time I saw him, he was being weird. He was I met with him at Starbucks, and he said some guy was following him around from Virginia, and I was like, "What do you?" I go, "What did he say to you? What did he do?" And he goes, "No, he didn't. He just showed up, made sure I made eye contact with him, and then he left." I was like. And then, I'm just being real.
That's so funny. You got to when you have to deal with someone's. I've had this not long ago. Deal with someone's psychosis, and you got to go. Okay, but let's just say for a second, it's impossible that aliens were here today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to get them out of that zone and be like, okay, I hear what you're saying.
Well, I didn't even know that because I reacted instead of sympathize or taking it serious. I'm just like, dude, nobody just drove up randomly from Virginia, showed up to this random Starbucks in Queens just to make 2 seconds.
You're just denying it, so, which is never going to happen.
And then the way he looked at me was kind of you're and then that was the last time I saw him because he went to Virginia to confront. They got in a thing on Facebook back and forth.
Who?
Him and my roommate and the guy in Virginia.
Oh.
And the guy's like, okay, come meet me if you want to do this to me. I'll be here. And then he showed up there. My roommate showed up there, and it's nothing but the cops. And that's how we got arrested and then ended up in jail. That was the last time I saw him. But the night that it happened, he called me because he was I was on the road, thank God.
After he killed his mom, he called you?
Yeah, because he was looking for a place to crash in New York. And I'm like, oh, I'm not there. And
see your text. Killed my mom, need help, thanks. THX.
Well, his sister called me. His sister was crying. It's like if you hear from him, he just killed her mom. So, and I'm like, yeah.
She said it to you?
Yeah.
If you hear from him, he killed her mom. So if you tell him, give me a call back. Jesus.
So yeah, and that was.
He said he thought she was like a demon. Like he said, the mom.
And she was a nice lady.
When he said she was the nicest lady. He said he knows for sure she wasn't, but he said in that time, he thought he was saving the world from this lady who was going to cause a problem. He was out of his head. Now you gotta it's a hard thing to forgive, man. But that chemistry is wild, man. Like I said, my girlfriend had a spell where she was saying things that weren't making sense, and she had to go to the hospital.
Dude, I was having seizures, man. I was having for a few years. That's when I got like I couldn't trust my brain. I have I'm fine now. I'm on Keppra, but I had non-epileptic seizures, and I would just be like in the middle. It like fucked with my stand-up a lot because I'd be like, all right, am I going to remember what I say next? Am I going to...
Or are you going to, like, have a problem on stage?
Yeah, and it happened a few times where I would just, like...
Really?
Yeah, where I just, like, blacked out. And this was... And I kept seeing...
Did you actually, like, shake and stuff?
No. I would just... I'd be fine. Like, the lights are on, but nobody's home. And to me, it would just be, like, 3 seconds. Then I'm like, okay, I'm back in it. But it was longer than that. Like, and, yeah, man, I would go see my doctor... And he kept telling me there were anxiety attacks. He's like, oh, those are anxiety.
Yeah.
And like a dummy for 4 years. I'm like, okay. And then finally, like when I got in a car accident and they're like, oh, you got to go see a neurologist. And I saw a neurologist and they put that thing on me for like 3 days. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, you're having non-epileptic seizures. Like it's caused by anxiety, but you need to be on. And like, I couldn't drive for 6 months and everything. And I've been fine since, but dude, that was like 5 years of my life that was fucked up. I couldn't trust my brain. I was, It's
terrifying. Yeah. I had anxiety caused physical problems in like 2010. And Lexapro, man, that saved my ass. Yeah. Still on Lexapro. Yeah, but it's never gotten like, even when I've gone off of it though, which you shouldn't, I guess. But when I've just kind of gone off of it, like at least now I'm in a place where I've been off it for like a year or two even. Right, and then you hit a point where you're like, yeah, absolutely. And then you hit a point where you're like, it got really, really bad. Now it's like I've had times where I've been off it and come back and been like, I think I need to jump back on. Like I'm just like,
yeah.
Like you just know it's like I don't need. It's like instead of getting actual like the symptoms, I feel the symptom. I'm like I'm getting like cloudy vision. Like I'm antsy.
Right.
I can't sit still. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like panicking about a lot of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, now I need to go back on. But I've been on for years now, steady again.
Well, that's what my neurologist was telling me. He's like, you're at a point where we can start weaning you off. I'm like, no. No. I'm never getting off this.
The thing is, you don't want to find out when they wean you off. It's like, well, this is the limit where you do something crazy again. You know what I mean? A crazy thing. But yeah, when it started leaking on stage for me was when I was like, I got to go to a doctor.
Yeah.
I was like, I almost like didn't go to work one night, like to do spots one night because I was like afraid of outside. Didn't even make any sense. The annoying thing was I wasn't all in. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't like going like, I'm afraid of going outside. Like, why? It's like, you guys don't understand. There's things out there, but it wasn't that. I was like, when they go, what do you don't want to go outside for? I go, I don't know. It's like, that was the worst part of it. I go, but my body's reacting. It's like, I'm terrified to go drive a car. No reason. There's no thing I think is going to happen. I'm not like worried that I'm going to pass out or I was just like, I just don't feel good. I felt like I was like just like insides were shaking all the time. It was.
I had an episode. I was featuring for Carmen Lynch, and I had an episode on stage. And Carmen's like, "Oh my god, we got to take it." And I'm like, "No," because I didn't want to. I was like, I was embarrassed.
Yeah,
I was fucking embarrassed. And like, I had no idea what was fucking going on, and it was like, it's scary. And you're like, I don't know. And it was like a 4-year period of my life, and
I passed out on Skanks not long ago.
Yeah,
on the show. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's pretty wild, but I was doing dabs, which is like the intense weed.
Yeah,
and I think I like was trying not to cough loud, and I think I just like, and you see me like, I go down. But the scary thing is like my hand's on a water bottle, and when I'm going down, I didn't pass out. Like I remember all of it. I remember being like, my head kind of dropping and being like, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I know people are seeing this, but then the scary thing I didn't know was like my hand is on a water bottle, like shaking like this. And I was like, that does look scary. But like, I just knocked out is what it was. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just coughing, had no oxygen in my brain. I just dropped down. Yeah. Scary.
My sister filmed one of my episodes, and that's because my head, they only last like 3-4 seconds. But it's like, no, it's a 2-minute video of me not knowing what the fuck's going on. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, our brains suck.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you can think like, anxiety stuff. It's like they say you feel like you're having a heart attack but what normally happens, especially if you haven't had a heart attack, you're actually experiencing what you think a heart attack is going to be.
Yeah.
And what's funny is to watch that happen. I remember being like, I was having a lot of problems. My right arm would get numb and tingly when I get these attacks. And so I'd always think it's like a heart attack. I'm like, oh man, that's the thing. And then someone goes like, heart attack's the left arm. It's not the right arm. And then, but as soon as someone told me that, like, it was always the left arm that started to tick. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, your brain just like makes it happen. Dude, so weird.
Speaking of, like, Metzger did this podcast and he was telling me, like, we were talking about this because I take trazodone too to go to sleep at night. But he said when he was roommates with you that like he would have night terrors.
Oh yeah. They were funny. I mean, horrible. Yeah. But yeah, he had nights. I don't know if he has them anymore, but yeah, they were bad too. Like,
I know he says he doesn't have them anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he would like wake up screaming and like yelling stuff that wasn't happening. It was pretty scary. But also that when you got used to it and you're living with someone who does that, it's like you hear someone yelling help in the other room and you're like, you're fine, go to bed. Like, oh, Kurt's weirding out again. But okay, I'm glad it doesn't happen anymore. But they're being more funny, but I know it's something really. It's funny. We were telling the story one time. Kurt's so funny. We're all laughing at the story of one of his night terrors, and I remember him just going to the interview. We're all laughing. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I got a pretty serious problem, actually." Like while he was laughing, which is such a funny thing to do.
Yeah, dude, that's but yeah, that was embarrassing. Like having seizures. It's like
it sucks. You look like a fucking weirdo to everybody.
Yeah, that's
everyone's such a worry about it. That's what sort of thing was like. After that was annoying. After I passed out on the show, it's like, of course, and also everyone, and they mean well, but everyone's got an opinion too. They're like, dude, you're epileptic. That was a seizure. Or like, oh, that's diabetes. Like, you know, they all happen from diabetes and all these things. And you're just like, guys.
Yeah, and all that does is put more shit in your head.
Yeah, of course. And you're like, God, exactly. You're like, please stop saying that, guys. Like, here's what happened. 2 breaths back to back, we're inhaling this dab stuff, and then I'm trying not to cough into the microphone a ton. So I'm like, and I just passed out. That was it. It's like there's nothing else to talk about it. And it's funny and like, you know, and scary and all those things. But it's like when it came out, it's like, I don't want to hear all those like, dude, get checked because you probably have this. Because I'm a hypochondriac. So I'm like, well, I definitely have that. I don't want to find out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, of course I've got it. There's no reason in the world I would have HIV, but I got blood work done the other day. And they're like, you want an HIV test? And I was like, yeah. I mean, might as well, right? To get confirmation. And then when it happens, yeah, buddy. When it happens, when they took the blood for it and they sent it off, you're like, damn it, I hope I don't have HIV. It's like, there's no reason I would. Do you know what I mean? There's no reason I would. Yeah. But it's still in your mind. You're like, I have to look at that test. Like, when test comes back, you're going to be like,
Well, now's the time to get it. Thanks to Magic Johnson.
Finally, you can live with AIDS instead of die from it. That's the message of the podcast, everyone. Yeah. AIDS is no longer a death sentence.
It's, what else? We can get ready to wrap up and get ready for the show.
Yeah, we're starting up in 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll plug your everyone. Legion of Skanks, Bonfire. Go ahead.
BigJComedy.com for all my dates. Bonfire on Sirius XM, Faction Talk 103. That's 4 days a week, 5 days a week, I guess, technically. And Legion of Skanks on Gas Digital Network and anywhere you get podcasts.
Cool, man. Thanks for doing this, buddy.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
All right. Peace, everybody.